Beautiful morning, YouTube. Review and Play 23 with a brand new One Piece chapter review today. Today we will be doing chapter 940, The Spark of Rebellion. Right off the bat, I just want to say that this is probably one of the best, most informative chapters we've got in a while. Even though it does not have any significant action in it, I will still give this a 10 out of 10. For the cover page, we have Bartolomeo doing some high quality candy that he's not selling to children at a festival. It's very cute joints of the straw hats. Bartolomeo looks silly as always. It's a good cover page. Right off the bat, we start off with Law saying how he won't forgive, I guess, Shinobu he's pointing at for not trusting his crewmates, and Usopp and Nami are debating how correct he was or Shinobu was, but they also admit that if they had been captured, they would have talked, probably. This chapter features a lot of Old Man Hio. We get to know a lot about how he spends his days. Apparently, we find out that he is the father of Toko, and that he sold her to someone in the capital, and that's how he gets the money to hand out to his fellow villagers. We see... Is it Hio? I meant Iyasu. We see Iyasu spend his day just giving money and well, not money. He gives the food to fellow villagers who can't seem to work for themselves anymore. This chapter focuses a lot on his attitude and his personality. I think there's a point to that. I think we're gonna find out something. Rather important about him later on, and that's why we're learning so much about him now. We find out that three new people. Well, we find out in this chapter that three new people have been in the village for a while. There's some of Komurasaki's trick men. They were all shifty people that did shifty things, which proves the point that Komurasaki wasn't being a bad person when she was tricking all those men. She tricked them for a reason, not just to be bitchy, which a lot of people seem to be confused by, that that Hiyori is just so nice when Komurasaki was such a dastardly woman. Yeah, we got it. The three men. Damn it, Anna. We get to find out their names are rhyming, kind of. Where is it? Bungo. Bingo, Bungo, and Bango. I don't know how important these men will be in the future. I doubt very, but we're learning about them, so. Depends. Damn. Tough one. But yeah, they probably won't matter much. I'm not sure why we're learning about them now, but I guess it just helps fill in Komasaki's personality. There's an old lady in this chapter. She seems to be one of the villagers of this village. She pops up out of nowhere, but it seems Nami and Usopp already know her in some way, shape, or form. Then we get to a weird conversation where Robin, Usopp, well, Sanji and Robin ask the guys how do they know Yasu from? And they can't seem to either remember him or know who he is at all. They say that they only know who he is because they only act the way they do towards him because he acted like he knew them, so he didn't want to be they didn't want to be disrespectful towards him. So they just kind of pretend that they know who he is. So I don't know if that's setting up something special with Tonoyasu. There must be a reason why he got so much focus this chapter. But we find out that he's kind of a saintly figure in this village. He helps keep everybody happy and calm. Even if it means he will suffer. Then we move on to Luffy's stuff. And I gotta say, I'm happy this an 18-page chapter so they can fit so much stuff in. In the Prisoner Mines, we see Luffy still working on trying to do the hockey push. We learned that in the capital, well, in Wano, the hockey is known as Ryo, which translates to flowing sakura. And it focuses on the concept of flow, which I'm sure is something we'll learn more about later on. We see Luffy taking shots and failing. One of the most interesting parts I find is how in some panels of after Luffy punches someone, it's hard to tell the difference between contact punch and this force hockey he's trying to do, because it looks like he did a force hockey in one panel, but no, he says it's wrong, so he must have touched them and then just pushed them away. Everybody's just watching him destroy these people. Queen still just relaxing, eating his food, saying that he's taking down saying Luffy's taking down too many people. All the scrubs are surprised. Some time passes by and it's bedtime already. Luffy's complaining about how they have to wait till tomorrow to fight again and how they're not gonna be getting fed. Um, Luffy knocks some guards out using his Conqueror's Hockey so he and the old man can have a conversation. He'll go to the flower. Luffy does complain about how he's feeling hungry, so I'm not sure how that's gonna affect the battles coming on the next days. Oh, the goddess. So yeah, Luffy knocks out some of the guards with his Conqueror's Hotkeys. They start talking. We find out that Old Man Hio actually knows some of the people in the rebellion, namely Kinemon and his group, and he also knew Roger in some way, shape, or form. Jesus. Oh boy. Oh, we didn't take a plus. Out of nowhere, we get Caribou and Raizo. They come out of left side. We get some time passes and Luffy explains to Old Man Hio what's going on. Old Man Hio is surprised. He's glad that he lived as long as that he resisted as long as he did, so that he could live to see all these old people he knew from before come back. And they explain how they travel using magic. We get Caribou saying he wants to be Luffy's underling with a dumbass face on his face. Dumbass look on his face. Luffy accepts him as an underling because he says he's a nice guy. Caribou is clearly lying, but Luffy doesn't think so, even though he should be able to see emotions. Caribou must plan to Get out with Luffy or something since he's begging like this. We get Old Man Hyo saying that Kawamatsu is definitely someone they need to get out of prison for some reason. Seems he's extra special. We get an explanation to how the prison works. There are 5 big sections and Luffy and Hyo are in one. And it seems that this answers one of the questions that people have had, which is how are they going to get so many people, the 5,000 people they plan for the rebellion. It seems the prison is going to be the answer, since like they say there's a lot of people here who hate the Orochi regime and would love to help take him down. It seems this is a blind spot where the enemy won't expect it, so it's worth trying, I guess. Oh boy. Jesus. So I'm guessing this is where they're gonna get a large number of people for the final day in the rebellion. Oh man, Hyo says that he can definitely convince some people to join in. I have one question about that, which is how healthy would these people be, but I'm sure we'll get to that. Damn it. This is a tough one. Whoops. And that's kind of the end of the chapter. We find out that Big Mom is on his way. It's on her way. Chopper's still worried about how that's gonna go down, but Chopper needs to know it's gonna be okay. Fuck. I've got you in my sights. It seems Luffy will now has a reason to start some sort of riot in the prison. I'm sure that's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I guess this signifies that the prison setting's about to end, and we're gonna move on to the main part of what Luffy's gonna be doing. Overall, I thought this chapter was very good. Uh, I like chapters that don't have a lot of too many open-ended questions. This one answers a lot of questions. We get a lot of useful information as to what's going to happen in the future. Uh, we know Yasu says he's going to join the rebellion in a week. I'm not sure how that's helpful, but I'm sure it will be. Like I said at the beginning, I would give this chapter a 10 out of 10. The art's pretty good. It's not as it doesn't feel as empty as it did last chapter. The character conversations are all interesting. Yep. Again, I'm glad it's an 18-page chapter. We get the most of One Piece we can in 1 week. This chapter had a lot of text bubbles. The most I've seen in a while, actually.
Surrender to my will.
I think the next few chapters will be the most... I think the Act 2 is going to be ending pretty soon. We have a lot of the setup being finished already, and we should be starting the action. I'm sure there's going to be a few more chapters with the Big Mom stuff, but then we can get on to maybe like a 2-day time skip where everything's just ready and we just start seeing everything go down. Jesus. Playing Overwatch is difficult while talking. Fuck. Okay. Well, I guess that's all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice rest of the day. Thank you.